What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 167 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we have the same amount of podcasts as Martina Navratilova has tennis titles. I can't say her name properly. I think you'll agree, Rick, getting 167 podcasts is a lot more difficult.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's also around about the number of episodes of the Flintstones that there were.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Yeah, there was a thing about the Simpsons overtaking the Flintstones around about that. But yeah, oh well. I could have searched this, but
You could have, you didn't. That pretty much sums up a lot of the behind the scenes of the podcast. Anyway, I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me as always is Rick.
Hello everybody.
Today we are doing another instalment of This Is the May. Today we're doing our pretty much yearly tradition at this point of watching another mainline Star Wars movie.
Yeah, absolutely. This time it's the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this applies to both of us, but on the off chance it doesn't, this is the first Star Wars movie I saw in a cinema as it came out.
Yes, I'm not counting the re-releases of the original trilogy because we also saw those.
Well, yeah, because that doesn't count. I mean,
they
new.
were.
When I say in the cinema, I mean new in the cinema.
Yeah, when it was new to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was not born in the 70s, and I was 2 years too late for Return of the Jedi, and even then I would have been just born, so...
But yeah, today we're doing Phantom Menace. It's a long one. We'll get to it when we get to it. Those of you who are fans of the show probably already know, but for those of you who are new, what we like to do before we jump into the review itself is talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. So, with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, I've not seen anything out in the world, so let's just talk about me and my friends and things that have happened in the me sphere. So, first of all, me and a friend of mine went to go see a miniature concert of Hans Zimmer and John Williams music. John Williams, obviously very important to Star Wars, and they even opened and closed with Star Wars.
Yeah, fair enough. So, what orchestra did it?
It was a very small Philharmonic film orchestra. There was about 20 pieces, including the singer. They didn't do Jewel of the Fates because she couldn't do the entire thing on her own. But they did a fair few others. It was touted as being mostly Hans Zimmer, but I think it was maybe 50% John Williams.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a really nice time. They used the Bradford Cathedral, which is it's a cathedral. It's got very good acoustics, and they just put a light show on the entire time. And for us who couldn't see the stage, they put a telly up so we could see what they were doing. It was great. Part of that weekend experience, a friend of mine stayed with us, and in about 26 hours managed to create a 12-hour Baldur's Gate 3 save file.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
Yeah. I mentioned this to you in person, but not on recording. Yeah, this was a great deal of fun. I was over his shoulder. I reignited my love for something that I obviously, we both really love Baldur's Gate. And since then, I've also been trying to clean up the end of my save files because I've stopped just before the final boss on both of them.
Oh yeah, well, you need to finish at least one of those.
Yes. And the last thing that happened to me is my dad got a new car, and this is probably going to be the last new car that the family gets. Just because of the logistics of the passage of time. He's probably going to be retiring before the end of this lease, but it's a real nice one. So yeah, nice to have nice things. How about you? How have you been? And what have you done and seen in the wide world?
Alright, so it'll come as no surprise that I've still been playing a lot of Hades 2. I haven't beaten the final boss yet. That boss fight is a fuck. I feel like the HP values they've given him is completely too high, but whatever. The reason why I bring it up is we've gotten our first patch. I've not played it since the patch dropped, but they've added some, I wouldn't say interesting changes, but certainly changes that the community asked for, which is exactly the fucking point of an early access game. So good job, Supergiant.
Yeah, good stuff. Excellent.
Rick, I've been craving a Happy Meal.
Have you?
Yeah, they've released a new set of toys, and actual toys, of a Hello Kitty / Yu-Gi-Oh! Crossover.
Oh boy, that actually sounds fun.
It is fun. I saw the advertisement on the telly the other day, and I went, I kind of want to buy like 5 Happy Meals, not for the food, just for the toys.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, because I feel like a lot of people don't, I believe Hello Kitty is the second most profitable company in the world. Franchise in the world.
Maybe. Yeah, Sanrio definitely have a lot of cash behind them.
I mean, I'm
behind Pokemon.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure, but apart from Pokemon, it's the highest. But I'm doing that off information that may or may not be correct. So take that with a pinch of salt. The fact that it's a Yu-Gi-Oh collab just means it's Hello Kitties dressed like Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Monsters. Like there's a Dark Magician and a Blue Eyes White Dragon, but Hello Kitty, and it's like I don't care about the Hello Kitty bit. I just want the toy.
yeah. Red eyes, black Agretsuko.
Well, again, it's just a Hello Kitty plush, but with accessories on it that make it look like the Duel Monsters.
Yeah. I mean, for the price of a Happy Meal, it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, it's just Happy Meal food is trash.
I mean, it's just chicken nuggets.
Well, yeah, but that's just it, though. It's like I'd rather give the food to my dog, and that seems like a waste.
Yeah, well, the nuggies are one of the better things you can get at Macca's anyway, so, it's not the worst.
The only reason why I'm considering buying a Happy Meal is I legitimately did the weirdo thing of, let's go on eBay and see how much the toys are selling for. Oh, £6. A Happy Meal is cheaper.
Yep.
I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole of a certain YouTuber.
Have you? What's happened?
Nothing's happened. I've just been binging them. There's a YouTube channel called Kings and Generals. I've literally just started watching them because they had a whole playlist on the battles and conquests of Alexander the Great, and I've just been watching that while playing games that aren't Hades 2.
Fair enough. Yeah, because you want to have... you want to absorb everything when the game is new. You don't want to, background thing it, whereas you can on your, 7th or 8th run.
But Hades is one of those games where I dedicate my entire brain to Hades.
Sure.
I can't play Hades and have music on. The Hades music is the Hades music. It needs to play, damn it.
Yeah,
literally the fucking...
Yeah, it's good.
Bob Parr fucking... Hades is Hades.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting channel. They do some little animatics to help visualize their what they're talking about. The narrator has a very good voice for what he's doing, and one of the things that bugs me a lot about a lot of historical YouTubers is they don't really tell you where they're getting their information from. I mean, they do. They usually have a paste spin of this is where we got blah blah blah. But in this particular example, the Alexander the Great stuff, they're like, here's our two main sources, and whenever there's conflicting information, which happens a lot because in BC times, a lot of information gets muddled up at best. They're like, these are the two accounts. We're using this account and leaning towards this one, but there is also this account that says this, and this. However, he's a fucking liar. They don't say it like that. They say it much more professionally. I believe what they're actually saying is the fact that the secondary source, which is cited a lot for Alexander the Great stuff, is literally a Roman and was writing about Alexander the Great 500 years after Alexander the Great existed, whereas the other account is much closer to the time period and therefore probably more accurate.
Sure.
But anyway, I digress. That's what I've been doing with my life. Do you want some news?
Yeah, let's go.
We got a cinematic trailer for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah, so I saw a screenshot of this and the tagline, I wish this wasn't an Assassin's Creed game.
I don't know why people are still harping on about that, because for the last 3 Assassin's Creed games, they haven't been Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah. I think it's more they wanted it not to be Ubisoft.
Well, tough tit.
Don't
buy it. There are plenty of samurai-themed games out there if you've got a problem with Ubisoft and or Assassin's Creed. You fucking piss, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, this one is samurai-themed and looks cool.
It does look... Well, here's the thing. I'm holding fire on saying it looks cool because it's a cinematic trailer. We don't know dick. It's basically just, hey, Assassin's Creed is finally going to Japan. The only reason I'm excited is because I really liked Valhalla. That game was overpowered. Here's the thing. Assassin's Creed Valhalla was a power fantasy in a Viking setting.
Yeah.
I want that, but in Japan, so I'm excited. The flip side is, of course, if you've seen the trailer, you know that the big reveal in the trailer is, by the way, here's Yasuke.
Yeah.
Yasuke is a well-known historical figure. He's the Black Samurai, if you're not familiar. Do I even need to say what the big internet hubbub's about?
Do people not like that a black person is a samurai, even though he's a historical figure?
Yeah, it's one of these weird... Well, I say it's weird. It's not weird. It should be expected. They're like, immediately, that fun little word certain people like to throw around gets thrown around immediately. It's like, Ubisoft has gone woke, and it's like, you guys suck. But anyway, the reason why... Yasuke is a good figure to have in a video game based in Japan, if you want it to be historical, but with fantastical elements. Because the beauty of Yasuke is... People don't know fuck all about him because he's not a real documented figure. If anything, he's a bit of an anomaly in time.
Yeah. Man, you saying that the whole Ubisoft has gone woke thing, I remember even back in the very, very first game, there was a little disclaimer saying that it had been worked on by a team of people of varying backgrounds and faiths. Like, they've always had representation in the team, and they've always been proud of that.
I mean, Rick, I'm taking the piss anyway, because woke has become a buzzword for racists and homophobes for describing anything they don't like. I'm not saying I'm not the one saying this. It's crazy internet people. But you're absolutely correct. At least since Assassin's Creed 2, because I didn't play 1, they've had that disclaimer.
Yeah, I think they started it even in 1 because Altair is obviously an Arabic kind of hero, isn't he?
I didn't play 1. I don't know anything about Assassin's Creed 1. I know Altair's a badass, and that's about it.
Sure.
I really don't know shit about fuck, but I mean, it would make sense given the fact the Templars are, in the first game, I assume, were straight up Crusaders, which means the other side, the Assassins, would have had to have been natives to the Arabic countries.
Yeah, they're Hashashins, yeah.
I don't fucking know. Suffice to say, I'm going to hold fire, obviously. I'm never pre-ordering a Ubisoft game ever again. I got bitten by the bug. Truth be told, I probably won't buy this game until it's on sale, because that's what I did for Valhalla, and I loved that game because I only spent 30 quid on it.
Ah, yes. Patient gaming syndrome, the best way to enjoy PC games.
Well, it's also the
PC
fact
games
that,
in particular.
Like, I just said I bought it for cheap and then said it was 30 quid. Does that not speak volumes?
Yeah, that's endemic of what gaming has become. It's like you expect 70, and then when it's less than that, that's a good deal.
But yeah, in other gaming news, Pars Sundström, if you're not familiar with that name, he is the bassist for Sabaton, has unveiled his side project, a game called Lord of Metal, a video game, in fact. Nothing has been shown about this game apart from the name and the fact that apparently Mr. Sundström has founded a game company called Horns Up Games.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's cute.
It's cool. I'm certainly invested in that. I will check this out when we get more information, but it's a weirdly little amount of stuff they've unveiled for their initial unveiling, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
But yeah, I will certainly keep my finger on the trigger for that one. Rick, Mother's Day just happened in the USA, and I don't know if you had the same reaction I did, which was, why is everyone talking about Mother's Day? Oh fuck, I fucked up. Wait, didn't we already have that?
Yep. It's easy to do, and Reddit has automatically subscribed me to 2X chromosomes for some reason, so I keep getting like women moaning about the universe posts. And a lot of them are, how hard was it to say Happy Mother's Day? I even told them to go ring their own mothers when talking about husbands.
I mean, I don't think Reddit's accidentally subscribed you to it. It's just if you go on similar subreddits, it just has random subreddits it thinks you like come up in your feed. And there's a little thing in the top right-hand corner that says subscribe. And next to it, there's 3 dots. You click on that and tell it to fuck off.
Sure.
Rick, have you heard of Emo Wendy's?
Yes. This is, I don't know if it's real, but the one in London, which I think is pretty much the only one in the UK, got an emo makeover. And the internet exploded about it.
Yeah, that's all that happened, is they changed the logo of one Wendy's. And, I mean, good job to the Wendy's PR team, because they got some fucking PR out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, she looked cool.
Yeah, I just don't understand why it's such a big fucking deal.
Well, things like this normally don't actually happen, and it's normally fan art. When it actually becomes the face of the brand, it generates a bit more hubbub than just some guy doing, oh, this is just a sexy Ronald McDonald on DeviantArt or whatever.
Yes, but it is once more brands trying to trick people into thinking they're people and not faceless brands that are evil.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And it worked.
Oh, totally, yeah. So I do actually want to try Wendy's at some point, because we don't have it in a lot of places in the UK. So
I mean, it's just fast food burgers. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting a different flavour to Macca's and to Burger King.
Rick, those are very low bars.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm wanting it to be better. I was just saying I want it to be different, and I want to have the experience.
But you're not going to have the experience in the British one.
Yeah, I guess not. Fair enough.
You can do what you want. You're allowed to have life goals. It's just I wouldn't put going to a Wendy's as one of them.
Oh, it's not a life goal. It's just a minor achievement that's not been unlocked.
Minor achievement? The fact you've got the word achievement in there is telling.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I had an Xbox, and there were things that had, like, a 5-point achievement, which is, yeah, those are incredibly minor ones, and not the 100-pointers.
Okay, moving on. Rick, the world's fattest monkey, Godzilla, dies at the age of 9.
Aww.
Yeah, so I got recommended this because I'm subscribed to the Ricky Gervais subreddit, which is where they just talk about the old fucking Ricky Gervais podcast. And they were like,
yeah.
we've got some monkey news. And I will say this, for a really fat monkey, it was still adorable.
Yeah. So should we do it as oh, chimpanzee diet monkey news.
Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. Yeah, the crux of the story is literally that a guy saved a monkey, and what he did is he'd keep the monkey on his market stall, which means loads of people would come by to see the monkey and then give it food that they shouldn't have done, so the monkey very quickly got fat. These monkeys usually live to about the age of 27-ish, so, you know, high, late 20s. This one died at the age of 9. I wouldn't say the government did it, but I guess they kind of did, because the police seized the monkey and gave it to a laboratory, not for any nefarious purposes. It was literally a fat camp for the monkey, in that they gave it a bunch of normal monkey food and a normal monkey diet to try and slim it down, which worked. It lost like 20 pounds, but it wasn't enough. The monkey passed away. It's very if nothing else, you can point, and this is actually a monkey. It was like it wasn't a capuchin, it was like a macaque.
Yeah. I've just searched for it, and
its name is Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla the fat monkey.
Yeah, but it's one of those where this is one of the textbook examples that you can point to of killing something with kindness.
Yeah.
There was a local petition for the monkey to be returned to the owners, and which eventually got quashed, and they gave the owners visitation rights.
Yeah.
So the owners could still see the monkey, but they weren't allowed to look after it anymore because, again, they weren't mistreating it in the sense that they were being cruel, but they were giving it food whenever it asked because they couldn't go no because they liked the monkey so much.
Yeah. And passers-by as well.
Yeah.
That just give him chocolate, drinks, bananas.
Yeah, he was well kitted out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those where if you own animals, you can't fall for the puppy dog eyes every time because the dog will kill itself.
Yeah.
Oh, on that bombshell, Rick, what are we doing today?
We're doing the Phantom Menace. We're doing the episode 1 of Star Wars. It's available on Disney Plus. If you'd like to join along with us at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, we're watching it on Disney Plus. But how many different versions of this have you owned through the years?
So
let's put it this way: when this first came out, we got it on video.
Yeah, so I think I've only got the VHS. I don't think I've got the DVD.
We got the DVD. Well, somewhere there is a DVD because I remember when the DVDs came out because they had a gold. It wasn't gold. It was like a beigey brown, but it looked goldish.
Yeah.
Cover.
It's like a beigey brown with a metallic sheen to make it like a bronze. Oh, yeah.
They were trying to go for the colour of the opening crawl.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough. So the gold ones that I had before that was the VHSs of the original trilogy.
Very quickly, Rick, do you want to do your best narrator voice for this?
Okay. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic.
Narrator voice, not Matt Berry.
The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. Ellipsis.
Yeah, so the Phantom Menace starts with, hey, let's talk about politics. But overtly talk about politics rather than just be a background element. Anyway, I cut you off. You were talking about your collection.
Oh man, I forgot. It's fine.
Talking about VHSs and then DVDs, and you started talking about a DVD you had.
Oh yes, I finally did get the original trilogy on DVD as well, but not the Phantom Menace, which shows how much I cared about the original trilogy, not this.
That's fair.
Also, Attack of the Clones came out on DVD first. So
yeah, that makes sense.
That was the transition point.
This was also my first ever video game.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And man, you must have liked the opening to Phantom Menace, because here's your starship porn straight away.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's cool things, but they weren't the things that I was used to.
Like, here's how young I was when this film came out. Is when the first film ended, or rather during the film, my mum pointed at Anakin Skywalker and said, "That's Darth Vader," and I went, "Nuh-uh."
No, it's not. Yeah, yeah.
Man, look how young Ewan McGregor is.
I mean, it's gonna be a running thing of looking how young everyone is in this.
I don't know, man. Liam Neeson doesn't look that different.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's he reached his peak age and just stopped.
You could tell Obi-Wan's a Padawan because he's got that stupid fucking ponytail they have to have.
Yeah, I think they started it with him in on the film side at least. Are they a racist stereotype?
I was just thinking that, because I remember when this film first came out, obviously, I was a kid, I didn't pay attention to nothing, but it's been pointed out before that these guys are apparently quite racially insensitive.
Yeah, I don't know what to.
Oh, Japanese.
Ah, fair enough.
Because of the way they talk is what I remember them saying. But if you want to talk about racist stereotypes, we've got that character coming up in Tatooine.
Yeah, we got Watto.
The blockade here's the thing, is that legal? And it's like, the blockade itself isn't legal.
Yeah.
So that's a war crime.
Yeah. Instantly.
And that's an even bigger war crime.
Yeah, using gas.
On ambassadors. This opening scene, though, is what made me fall in love with Star Wars all over again, though. Is when the lightsabers light up.
Yeah.
Like, it's what I think of when I think of Star Wars. And it's why it bugs me in video games when you use a lightsaber, you don't kill things in one swing.
Yeah, I've fallen afoul of that in Fallen Order now.
Did John Williams do any music for the prequels?
I think he did, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did it for this. And then when it came to the sequels, he was a consultant but didn't do most of it.
To be fair, dude's old as fuck now.
Oh yeah.
Like, deserves a break.
Yeah, totally.
For real, man, they seem to have taken forever to deploy those.
Yeah. So these things tend to be very invincible when it comes to games.
Yes and no, because, you know when they were rolling?
Yeah, they're completely destructible when they're rolling because they don't have the shields up.
They're actually laughably easy to destroy when they're rolling.
Yeah. I think it was in the Clone Wars show where they just leave a lightsaber on the floor. And then when it deploys and has its shield open, they just turn the lightsaber on.
If you say so, I don't recall that ever happening.
That's our first shot of Obi-Wan being sarcastic.
Yeah, being a smarmy git.
Yeah. Which they turn up to, not even to 11, they turn it up to 100 in Sending the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but it's even funnier because in the Clone Wars cartoon, because he's with Anakin, who is even more smarmy than Obi-Wan is, it means that because he's got someone who actually plays with him, he turns it up even harder.
Yeah.
We'll say, they do have pretty overarching shots.
Yeah, they do. You can tell they were proud of it because they put it back into Return of the Jedi.
This is true.
Hey, Captain Panaka.
Whose name I only know because of the video game.
Yeah, totally.
You see, when your planet can just pump out battle droids, it does make you a significant threat to pretty much anyone. Look at these toys, man.
I don't know if they sold that one, but they definitely sold the other ones, like they
sold
the ATT and the LAAT.
Yeah, the ground transport as well that they're about to drop off and have all the droids inside. They definitely sold that.
Yeah, they definitely sold those. Yeah.
These things, these transports.
Yeah.
In the video game, you have to go through the actual fucking ventilation shafts, as they say, and if you're really shit, you can get killed by one of the fucking dust cleaning robots.
Yeah, you get killed by a Roomba.
I know they were really proud of it at the time, but Jar Jar really does stick out in scenes.
He does.
Like, again, groundbreaking technology for the time, and it doesn't look awful. It's just with a lens of 2024, it sticks out so bad.
Yeah, like even the ATT tanks don't look great when you were looking at them going around there, especially from behind.
Here's the problem: is I was too bothered by Jar Jar. Now I want to point out, as a kid, I fucking loved Jar Jar. They pushed Jar Jar hard.
They did. You were the target audience.
I remember there was a toy which was just a Jar Jar plastic head, but it had a really sticky, very, very long tongue.
Yes.
Which would immediately become useless, because if it ever touched anything, it would become filthy.
Oh, yeah. As soon as it was filthy, that was what it was stuck to, and that's what it was stuck to forever. And if you cleaned it, you cleaned off all the stickiness as well.
It wasn't a good toy, but, kids wanted it, and they got it.
Hmm.
No matter your opinions on Jar Jar, I really don't think Ahmed Best deserved to get bullied so much he considered killing himself.
No, absolutely not. Like, don't bully an actor because you don't like the character.
How about you just don't bully people full stop?
Yeah. Yeah, don't bully people, don't assault people. It's a pretty low bar.
And yet, daily it doesn't get cleared.
Yeah. So I like how Qui-Gon's robes were just made from whatever rags they could find down the market, and Obi-Wan's were handmade in Italy.
Why?
Well, I think it's because they knew that Obi-Wan was showing up in further films, so they put more effort into his clothing.
See, I thought it was going to be something like a bit more clever in that Qui-Gon Jinn is a bit more world-travelled, so therefore he doesn't really care that much about his robes.
I don't even know if they, put that into consideration.
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing of it, Rick, so I assume there was a reason.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, I only remember reading it as a tidbit in the newspaper when the Phantom Menace was new.
Oh, if it was in a newspaper, it was almost definitely bullshit.
Well, they had interviews, so they probably wanted at least some amount of truth and accountability.
I think you put too much faith in the news market.
Well, this was back when there was the law of the news has to be true.
I don't think people paid attention to that law even then.
Sure. Yeah, Oto Gunga is a lot more impressive than I gave it credit for when I was a kid because nothing was happening.
It looks very good.
Yeah.
As an underwater civilization, this is a cool way to make a visual for your city.
Yeah. And make it usable by people who are not just underwater amphibious people.
Mm-hmm.
You have the bubble, so you don't have to filtrate everything.
Fucking Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan looked very confused in that scene. Isn't this Brian Blessed's one claim to Star Wars?
Yes, it is.
I like to see the amphibious droids. Where's Obi-Wan from, anyway?
There's a theory that he's actually Uncle Owen's brother.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, it was very subtle, by the way, but every time Qui-Gon has spoken to Boss Nass, he's been waving his hand.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't notice that, actually.
Specifically when he was saying we could use a transport, he was very obviously moving his hand, which, if you're not looking for it, I don't think many people might have seen.
Yeah, so he's basically mind-controlling everybody that he comes across.
To be fair, it's the Gungans, it's not difficult.
Yeah, and also he tries it with Watto and it don't work.
Don't even get me started, because that just nullifies so much Star Wars stuff.
Yep. Yeah, there we are, the hand.
Yeah, so every time he's making a request, he's waving his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're like 2 seconds ahead of me. Not that it matters. That's what we remember Boss Nass for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The waggling jowls.
So the only thing I know about Jar Jar's voice and the way he talks is that it's based entirely on how Ahmed Best used to talk to his kids.
Oh, fair enough.
Or,
because it does sound like slave talk.
Oh, okay. No, apparently... Oh, fuck. No, I never even made that connotation. No, Ahmed Best apparently did it when talking to... It might not have been his kids, it might have been his nieces and nephews.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's still kids, just maybe not physically his.
I can't remember if he had kids at this point. It's one of those. Look at that Star Wars!
Yeah, big gross fish.
And what do we know about fish, Rick?
There's always a bigger one.
Ah.
There we go.
Man, how much work must have been going into the animation back then?
Like, it was all the work that went into it, it seems.
Like, it looks like they stole that shot straight off of 2001 Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which can't have been true, because this came in, like, what, 1999?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I guess it would have been the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So you told me that Pelagius is currently still alive in canon at this point in time, right?
Yeah, apparently so.
Because I remember the last time I actually watched this film was weirdly with you, Rick. It was before the podcast was a thing, where it was during the pandemic, where me, you, and two other friends were just doing a watch along, and there's a point later on in the movie where you just go, "He's feeling real good about himself right now," and it was just like, "What are you on about?" And your words were, "Well, according to a book, he just killed Pelagius last night."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's actually when they have the talk out with Maul, and Maul has his only lines.
Oh yeah, Peter Serafinovich in Phantom Menace.
Yeah, before Sam Witwer took over.
Who, by the way, I think everyone can agree did a great job.
Yes, absolutely. They both did a great job.
Yeah, I know, but fucking Serafinovich only had like 3 lines in the movie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, whereas Sam Witwer's actually added a lot of depth to the characterization because, things have happened to the character.
Yeah, so I've been seeing lots of clips of his interviews just coming up randomly on YouTube, and he didn't say this, but he did say it. He said he might be the closest person able to out-nerd Dave Filoni when it comes to Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw this one as well when he was interviewing for Starkiller, and he was told, meditate to build your lightsaber, and they said, why are you being so intense? And he goes, well, he's not a Jedi, he's a Sith. Like, all he knows is intense. Like, everything is rage. There is no emotion, there is peace. So when he's trying to meditate, he's trying to force it, because that's how he thinks it goes. And they went, good catch. You've got the part.
Fair enough. The one I heard was he was in the room with 2 people as they were having a conversation, and he went, and that was it was really well done. And I can't remember the context. I'm sorry. I'll have to look it up and send it to you when I remember, Rick. But it was just everyone was like, "That was a great take. That was awesome. So emotional." And he just went, "Yeah, we've got to do that again because these 2 characters don't actually know each other."
Yeah.
or something like that. It was a catch, and it was what made Filoni not fall in love with him, but be like, "Yes, you are my go-to."
Yeah.
God, I love the physical models, though.
They're good, aren't they? Yeah, like, the droids all look a bit Uncanny Valley-ish.
I don't think they're that no, because they don't look... There's nothing human about them. They stand out, to be sure, but...
Yeah, they look a bit superimposed, is what I mean, sorry.
Oh, cool. Nothing ever bad happens in a camp.
Hmm.
Fucking, that was a shit joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't concentrate too hard.
Okay, fuck you. This next scene that's going to happen has got one of the best changes for the Lego Star Wars games, because it was back before they just put audio conversations in, so everything had to do physical. So they play this cutscene happening with just Qui-Gon cutting everyone down, and in the background, Obi-Wan's just trying to turn on his lightsaber, and he can't do it. And by the time all the droids are wiped out, that's when he turns it on.
Yeah, the good old Lego Star Wars physical comedy.
Yeah, which they don't do anymore, because they literally just take the audio from what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like that ding of the early of the late 90s, which is just like a piece of technology has broken. So currently, that Amidala's not the real Amidala, right?
Probably not. Like, by the fact that that's what they do. I think they're doing the best not to show her face, even to people who are rewatching.
Well, it's one of those where I'm pretty sure I could see Natalie Portman as one of the handmaidens right now.
Yeah, she's the one that's directly behind her.
Yeah. Like the one on the right of the screen right now. Like, the fact that her face is always clear enough in shot makes me think they're already doing the body double bullshit.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, she's the one on the right. Yeah. Yeah, that's why she turns to her to see what she wants.
Isn't that a badass shot, though?
Hmm.
Also, I'm pretty sure those are the doors later on that Darth Maul gets revealed behind later.
Yeah, this is the hangar.
Like, even back then, the droids had a bit of personality.
Yeah. It wasn't until later that they just became Roger.
I like how half the pilots are just like, yeah, let's just grab some starfighters.
Yeah.
God, that ship is, I wish it wasn't so shiny, but it's a cool design.
Well, it's shiny because it's the Queen's ship.
It's meant to show you that it doesn't get used.
Yeah, and also that she's rich.
Well...
And then there's the even bigger, even cooler one in the beginning of Attack of the Clones that gets blown up immediately.
Okay. Here's the thing about blockading a planet, and I get it was probably just a visual constraint and you're supposed to just imagine that there's this amount of ships around the entirety of the planet, but it does look like they've just made a ring, so why didn't they just go up instead of towards?
Yeah, I think the idea is that little things are all around, and it's just the big ones that are the ring.
Yeah, maybe. And I will say, I don't like this either when it comes to R2's origin.
Yeah, it's so arbitrary.
It feels ham-fisted, right? Like, I don't care, because at the end of the day it's R2 and it means R2's in the film for more. But...
Yeah. Like, in my opinion, they could have just had them be sequel characters. Sorry, like, not sequel characters. Original trilogy characters. They don't have to have the droids in all of them. But, oh well, they do, so that wasn't something that I decided on.
Like, I think it makes an interesting connection that Anakin built C-3PO, but even in this first movie, he's in it for 2 seconds.
Yeah. And he's
like,
naked.
They could have just introduced R2 and C-3PO in Attack of the Clones. If they wanted to have them at all. You know? And like, fuck. It's even weirder, isn't it? Because R2 hangs out specifically with Anakin.
Yeah.
Fucking Obi-Wan's going to fucking Camino with R4.
Yeah, this jobber droid that no one cares about.
It's just R2-D2, but red.
Yeah. And a trapezium head.
No, R2 was the same shape as R4.
Okay. I thought R4 had a trapezium head.
Oh, we'll find out next year when we do Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Look at this
and
cool
I've forgotten
motherfucker.
About this, yes, absolutely.
Look, you know what? I'm just going to bring it up on my phone so I don't tippy tap. But I might be wrong, but I'm 95% sure R4.
Yeah, I think it's not as chunky as R5 from from A New Hope.
Yeah, I'm looking at R4 P17 and it's just R2D2 but red instead of blue.
Okay, fair enough.
There is another R4 P17 is specifically the R4 Obi-Wan has in Attack of the Clones and perhaps Revenge of the Sith. But there is a bunch of other R4s when you type R4 in, and they do have the trapezoid head that you're talking about.
Sure, okay.
So because you're a bigger Star Wars nerd than I am, I think just because you know more about the serial number R4 means you conflated a bunch of them in your head.
Yeah, I did. I'm thinking general, not specific, apparently. R3s look exactly like R2, but they've got transparent heads.
Yeah, because that's cool.
Yeah. And R1s look like bins.
A lot of R's look like bins.
Yeah. No, but R1s look like actual a bin that you can buy.
Look, I'm just saying, if you could buy a bin that looked like R2-D2, I probably would.
Yeah. It's probably one of the easiest Star Wars things to make as well.
Like, it's always being made into various types of model kits.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, there used to be a really big thing. I think it's still a thing, but less popular now, where they'd always sell these big, ambitious project magazines where it's like, the first issue's $1.99. That's literally really cheap, and it gives you the first part, and it's like, read the magazine, see if you're interested, and then it's like £10 per issue, and there's 1,000 issues, and you have to wait 3 years to actually finish it. But when you do, you get like a remote-controlled, fully built R2-D2.
Yeah. It was a little bit inverted when I was a kid, in that the first issue was 30p and the regular issue was £1.50.
I think that was for a different level of thing.
Yeah, that was for the dinosaurs one, where you started out by making the skeleton, which glowed in the dark, and then after you finished the skeleton, you could build the outside of the dinosaur, and your choice was, do you want one cool model or two?
Yeah.
But issue 1 was the T-Rex skull, which was like the best one, so...
Yeah, of course. See, like, they're not overt about it, and us as viewers aren't meant to know yet, but Qui-Gon knows.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he does.
Which makes it even funnier later on when he goes, the Queen will trust my judgment, and fucking the Queen's just like, oh, you bastard, because I can't say anything.
Yeah. Look at the shit. Look at the shit. Yeah.
Ugh, I would not want to step in shit.
No one likes stepping in shit.
But yeah, here's an interesting fact about Huttese. I think we actually spoke about this during the Ewok thing earlier in the month, where like George Lucas doesn't make up languages because only people who care about that sort of thing will bother going through with it. They just write in the script, here's what we want you to say, but say it in Huttese. And it's like, what the fuck's Huttese? It's like, it's gibberish, make it up.
Yeah. Sometimes they do, like, have some things like Poodoo is very obviously shit.
Yeah. But yeah, if you didn't know, Watto is the most obvious stereotype ever.
Yeah, he even gets the hat in the next one.
Oh. So in the PS1 game, this is the one segment in the entire game where you don't have... there's a bit of combat with Tusken Raiders, but apart from that, it's mostly just walking around. There is a shop 2 doors down from Watto's that will give you everything you need for Republic credits, but it will take him a week to get the parts.
Yeah.
And it's like, time is of the essence, so we can't do this. And it's like, for fuck's sake. Of course it is.
Yeah. Man, look how young Natalie Portman looks.
I mean, yeah, she was only like, what, 18?
Maybe even 16.
Like, maybe. Either way, this scene would have made more sense if Anakin wasn't fucking 6.
Yeah, if he was like 11, it'd have been decent, but...
At least a teenager. Because this, it makes... George can't write romance. That's just a thing we all know. It becomes very creepy very quickly in the sequels, in the next 2 films, where they suddenly knock it off. Because the last time they saw each other was when they were these ages.
Yeah, I just noticed 3PO's got his chassis out back that's ready to be installed later.
Is that specifically 3PO's, though?
I think it is.
But why would it be? Because Anakin had to scrounge parts.
Yeah, but it's it looks like that's what he's going to use for the cladding.
Okay.
Or was intending to.
See, this is actually laughable, though, isn't it? In so many fucking ways.
Yeah, well, the only person that we've realized, that we've seen be immune to mind tricks before has been Jabba the Hutt.
But it's one of those where it completely nullifies one of the... why would you not have this race of people specifically deal with Jedi all the time for you? Because they're immune to their mindfuckery ways. And part 2, right? How the fuck is there not a place where you can exchange money on this planet? And number 3, why the fuck's he like, why are you acting like some kind of Jedi or something? This isn't the fucking Galactic Empire era. Jedi are alive and well and plentiful.
Yeah.
I actually love this reaction. In a moment.
Or he just goes yippee and runs off.
Yeah, because it's such a kid reaction.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I love how the subtitles needed to clarify that the yippee was in basic and not in Huttese.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to gamble with this slave child. You know, we don't actually... Go on.
I'm going to try and sync up a little bit better with you because I'm a couple of seconds ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think it gets addressed very often, but Jar Jar must actually be in hell on this planet.
Oh, yeah. He's an aquatic person. And literally drying out and cooking.
Sebulba!
Yeah, casual crimes.
My brother weirdly liked Sebulba a lot back in the day, and I still to this day don't know why. I love how Qui-Gon is just like, for fuck's sake. Like, how fucking weird is this when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, where Sebulba is allegedly a champion racer, and he's shit-talking a little kid?
Yeah.
Doug sounds like a slur.
It does, doesn't it? Well, he ate the frog.
Yeah, you are a couple seconds ahead, but it's fine, it's manageable. Fuck me, there's still an hour and 40 left and nothing's happened yet.
Yeah, they've fought their way out of Naboo, and that's it.
Oh, he does say his name in the movie.
Yeah, I think that's the only time he says it.
Like, he doesn't come back again. Look at how chuffed that woman is. She's like, I nailed it. That line was delivered perfectly.
And now I'm in Star Wars. R2 just going half a pound of top on your eyes.
Okay.
Just start of Pop Goes the Weasel as he just goes.
Oh man, I'm just remembering, like, barely any of the original trilogy guys are left. What have we got? We've got Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, yeah.
Like, oh, and we got fucking Anthony Daniels, I suppose.
Yeah, Anthony Daniels and James Earl Jones is still kicking about.
Okay, fair enough. But it's like, I'm thinking about it, like, Chewbacca's gone, Kenny Baker's gone, Leia's gone.
Peter Cushing is gone.
He went. I think he went before the original trilogy, didn't? The prequel trilogy, didn't he?
Yeah, he was one of the first ones to go. Actually, I think. Yeah. Ian McDiarmid's still around.
That blows my mind because he's pushing 100. I swear.
Yeah.
And like,
well, they did do the thing where they made him look older in Return of the Jedi. He wasn't actually that old.
Yeah, I know, but like, he is that old now. Is
Yes.
my point. Like, he is an old man. I've seen him. He walks well for his age, and he doesn't look terrible. But sometimes you see that he feels the effects of being an old man, and it's sad to see.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate people talking about him in this way.
Oh, totally. Qui-Gon basically saying, well, yeah, it is true, and we still have to do this.
Speaking of toys that came from this, there was one that was that communicator you just saw him holding. And what would happen is when you'd buy a toy, a figure...
Oh yeah, you got a little chip, didn't you?
Yeah, and if you tapped it on the communicator, it would play voice lines from the movie.
Yeah. You got like 2 lines. Yeah, this is the time when he's just killed Sid. He's just killed Plagueis, and now he's the Darth. But yeah, even Plagueis was playing fast and loose with the rule of 2.
Like everyone does. It's such a silly rule because no one pays attention to it.
Yeah.
I remember this scene being a favourite as a kid as well, when Qui-Gon catches the tongue. Jar Jar is charming in his own way.
Yeah.
We also know that's not true, but...
I think it's more that he's little, that he can fit in a pod race.
Yeah. I think that was the consensus from a lot of people's minds until this movie, though.
Yeah, that no one can kill a Jedi, because the only one we ever saw die, we saw Obi-Wan die because he gave up, and we saw Darth Vader die.
But he wasn't a Jedi, technically.
But he wasn't, he was a Sith for most of what we saw of it, and only in his last moments did he just renounce being an arsehole.
Yeah, and we saw Yoda die, but that's because Yoda's a fucking troll.
Yeah.
Yoda's would be a real dick move to die right about now, and then just died.
Super Kamiguru.
Yeah. You know what? I will say it. I think Qui-Gon Jinn is a pretty good representation of lawful good, in the sense that, he does fundamentally what's good, but he also obeys the laws of where he's at. But then again, I think he's actually... I'll pivot that a little bit. Either neutral or chaotic good, in the sense that he will use his mind-bending powers to ultimately do the right thing, but when forced into a situation where he can't do that, he doesn't resort to murder.
Yeah. So I think, like you say, neutral good or chaotic good, because he's not lawful good. If he was, then he wouldn't even try to fight against what the law is.
Well, that's just it, though. Is the reason why I was going to argue lawful good is as soon as his power to manipulate the rules is gone, he works within the system as best he can.
But he's always looking for ways to cheat.
Yeah, case in point, how quick, every single conversation we've had so far with him, he's been waving his hand as he talks.
And he even cheats on the dice at the end.
Yeah, he doesn't have much choice there, though. It's a bit of a plot hole that Shmi gets stuck on Tatooine, in my opinion. Because there are so many solutions. Including just coming back 5 minutes later.
Lightsaber blazing.
Well, I didn't even mean with lightsaber blazing. I mean, they could probably get currency. Again, I refuse to believe there's nowhere that wouldn't exchange currency on this entire planet, or in the entire system.
Yeah. Or just bring freaking gold or something. Still smiling as he says that, though.
Yeah.
Grumbling continues.
That's the beauty of closed captions instead of subtitles.
Yeah.
It's actually a very interesting thing seeing Obi-Wan doubt Qui-Gon Jinn's plans. Because Obi-Wan comes up with dumber shit than this regularly.
Well, I think it's learning from Qui-Gon that emboldened him to do the dumb shit when he's in charge.
Quite possibly. I'm just saying it's an interesting to see the change, you know?
Yeah, interesting dynamic for Obi-Wan to be the lawful good one.
There's also a cut scene from this film. Do you remember it? Well, there's several, but specifically on Tatooine.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know all the cutscenes actually.
I don't know all of them, but I remember the one from Ness because it would have been a stupid scene to include, so it's good it got cut. So, you know the little Greedo kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a cutscene, him and Anakin start having a fist fight, and then Anakin kills him.
Ha!
And it's like... I believe the explanation was it's meant to show the hints of the dark side within him, and it's like... You just showed a kid killing another kid in cold blood over a stupid argument. This isn't a good look, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
So you'll see in a minute when he's fixing up the pod, you've got that little Greedo kid talking shit, and I believe that's what initially causes the argument, and that's what they start fighting and killing over for. Yeah, that little shitling at the front there.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the name of the race of people, but they are the jobbers of the universe. I think they're called like Radians or something.
Yeah, Rhodians. Yeah.
Ah. I didn't know that's what he was saying. Like, they subtitled it as my tongue. Yeah, exactly. My tongue is fat. I never knew that he had actually said words there.
I know he says my tongue, but because he says it twice.
Hmm. And apparently that kid has a name, and it's Kitster.
Yeah.
Of all the people present, Padme's the only one who gave enough of a fuck to save Jar Jar.
Yeah, because Qui-Gon's fucked off.
Qui-Gon has saved Jar Jar more times than he needed to be fair.
Well, apart from, basically stealing him.
If he didn't steal him, Jar Jar would be dead twice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was meant to be banished, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, but he saved him the first time, and that's what gave him... encouraged Jar Jar to show him the town in the first place. When he got there, he saved him again by not letting him be wounded until death. If you want to talk about how fucked up and manipulative Sidious can be, there's a great comic panel of just after one of the first initial conquests of a rebel planet early in the Empire, where people are being shipped off in drones to be sold and used as slave labor. And you got just Darth Vader with his arms crossed looking really fucking miserable, despite having the fucking helmet on. And Sidious has a chat with him and says, this is better than killing them all. And Vader's just like, I don't think that's true, but I have no choice but to obey.
Yep, totally.
But like, it's one of the few things that Vader actually doesn't like, and is actually vocal about not liking, is the fact that he doesn't like shipping off people as slaves.
Yeah, and it's very easy to see why, like empathy for something that he also went through and was his entire life until a certain point.
Yeah. I've forgotten the geezer's name, but the body actor for Darth Maul, fucking 10 out of 10.
Ray Park.
That's the one. Ray Park.
Not Nick Park.
Who does his fucking sick double blade fighting style so quickly, George Lucas had to tell him to slow down for the sake of the cameras.
Yeah. And he trained the others on it as well.
I believe he was the stunt coordinator for the first film, wasn't he?
Yeah, he trained everyone for lightsaber fights.
Like I love the story of like between Between Ewan McGregor making the lightsaber noises and Qui-Gon Jinn being trained as Rob Roy in his previous role, it's a miracle any of these fight scenes got recorded.
Yeah.
How fucked is that when you think about it? Right, let's just change this a bit. Instead of being Watto, it's a black dude. Patience, my black friend.
Yeah.
Look at the fucking Twi'lek servicing Sebulba in the background.
Oh, yeah, giving him a pedicure.
Yeah, and a back massage. If someone always wins, they have to be a next level talent or a fucking bastard.
Or a combination of both.
Yeah, looking at you, Schumacher.
Yeah.
The fact that he's hesitant to immediately just agree to that deal means he does see Anakin as a worthy investment.
Yeah, he sees Anakin was worth more than Shmi. Partly because Anakin does a lot of stuff around the shop and, like, knows more than he does.
Well, it's like he raced in the... he's raced before for Watto, and he does the work in the shop, whereas we don't actually know what Shmi does for... I almost said Sebulba. For Watto, because we've only ever seen her when she's not working.
Yeah.
It could be that Shmi used to do a lot of work before Anakin was born, and then Anakin took over the duties once he was old enough, and Shmi's now main responsibility is looking after Anakin. Who knows? It's really hard to tell what's happening. Either way, slavery's fucked, and you should feel bad about it.
Yep. And then he sells her.
Well, but it's okay though, because selling her was the best thing he could do for her, because she eventually got freed, technically, but still had that anklet around her neck.
Yeah. She got sold to someone who freed her and then married her. Hopefully in that order.
Oh, God.
So Kitster's been mentioned twice. He gets his name more than Captain Panaka.
I'm actually surprised that Kitster doesn't appear in, like, a later movie or a series or something.
Yeah, because I think Darth Maul gets referred to once, Kitster gets referred to twice, Panaka gets once.
It's one of those weird things about Darth Maul, which I think people seem to forget. Until the Clone Wars animated series, Darth Maul was a one-and-done, two-dimensional villain at best.
Yeah. They used him for, like, cameos, like in The Force Unleashed, he was just a holographic training regimen.
Yeah, because he might have been a 2D character, but his fighting style was cool.
Yeah.
By the by, this announcer voiced by Greg Proops.
Oh, yes. From Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah. Okay, again, I cannot understate this enough. I was obsessed with Star Wars when the prequels came out, which means I read all of the fan books. I watched a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. When the DVD came out, I watched so many of the fucking vignettes.
Mm.
And in a minute, if we keep an eye on the audience, we'll see Warwick Davis in a minute.
Yeah.
I believe Warwick Davis has a cameo in all of the prequels just because it's Warwick Davis and he deserves it.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we'll see him in the background of the shot with Watto.
Man, my favourites of these were Team Toe.
Oh, yeah?
Because he was... because he had a lot of...
character?
Yeah, he had a lot of character in the game. I am Team Toe, one of Espa's most famous racers! And the other one is E.B. Endicott, who basically is only a background character in this. He doesn't even get his name mentioned, but he's one of the first ones that you could unlock in the video game of the Podracer video game.
Yeah, wasn't the concept of that Podracing video game literally Anakin's already pretty much a Jedi Knight at this point, but he gets called back mysteriously to race by a mysterious racer, which is obviously Sebulba, and everyone guessed it before.
Yeah. There's that, and then there's the Racer's Revenge, when he goes back when he's an adult.
Like, why would the Jedi Council let him?
Yeah. It's either that or it's a what if of if Anakin went on to be a galaxy-wide famous racer instead of a Jedi.
Yeah. I don't know why I found that funny. It's definitely a child reaction.
Yeah, just being picked up and going, whoa! Like, yeah, the feel don't think thing ended up as one of the voice lines for the Star Wars piggy bank of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay.
There were three piggy banks that all had like 1 degree of movement, and you could like join them together.
Look at that hint of the Leia fucking bikini, by the way. Just hints of it. So that is straight up Jabba, right?
Oh yeah. The big one's meant to be Jabba. I don't know who the other one is though.
I think the other one's there just to show that there's more than one Hutt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say we haven't really touched upon it, but the kid who played Kid Anakin got a lot of child actors get bullied is basically what we've learned throughout history. But here's the thing: is with child Anakin, I don't think the actor did a bad job.
No. Like as far as kid characters go, he did pretty well.
Do I think Anakin should have been? Go on. Sorry.
We just had the Queen just my judgment. You should too. Line.
Yeah. Sorry, I was about to go on a tangent of like, do I think Anakin should have been older in the first movie? Yes. Do I think the actor did a bad job? No.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Doesn't one of these guys eat shit immediately? See, because you're a couple seconds ahead, I don't actually know which one Team Toe is.
He's the one that's in the wheel.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they went back on killing the Rhodian and had him show up in this.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, there's Warwick.
Oh, you are way ahead. But yeah, Warwick is right next to Watto, so he's easy to see. All they've done is give him a wig and a bit of wild hair.
Yeah. I've kept pausing to slow down, and apparently I'm like just speeding up ahead of you.
It's fine, it doesn't matter. It's only a couple of seconds, it just means you'll react to things a little bit quicker than I do. I would love to see the green screen, pre-green screen of that scene, though. Of just everyone wearing stupid fucking suits. Like, this is also a baffling thing, is that Anakin makes up so much ground because his pod racer is so fast, and yet then it's movie logic of now he's with the thick of the herd, now he can't go faster.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
It's also smaller, so he should be able to maneuver a lot quicker. Like that.
I will say this level was very fun on the Lego Star Wars video game.
They changed it as well. So, they had it very much like the regular pod race in the original Lego Star Wars game, and then when they did the Complete Saga, they did a completely different one where you just went backwards and forwards and picked up things to win. Oh.
Yeah, no, in the version I played, I never played the Complete Saga version. I played the OG PS2 game of, you did the circuit, but the circuit would slightly change each lap, so that's how you got the mini kits.
Yeah. But so like that blew up, but it obviously revealed an extra,
different cave.
Extra route up the side, yeah.
And it's a pretty iconic moment of the race in the film where Anakin goes up the exit ramp that he's not supposed to. There's a mini kit at the end of that, and you get a speed boost if you do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you wouldn't. What, like, yeah, haha, funny, random alien gets killed. But, I don't know why at that point you wouldn't just be like, I'm a lap behind, I might as well just withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this, I do enjoy the lap counting mechanic. I also love this pit droid completely fucking up this dude's racer.
Oh yeah, the droid's completely fine as well. Just to be an arsehole.
It's a good question, because he made up a lot of ground. It makes no sense. He was in the thick of the racing.
Mm.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Back scratcher!
Ah!
Pot baggy! Like, I'm glad this was only in one movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's an interesting scene once. So that guy's the guy you're on about, Tito.
Yeah, the one in the hamster wheel.
Yeah. It's just, another thing is, as they cut so often during the race, you don't even get a really decent feel of the track.
Yeah, I think the...
Oh, Rick, this scene's so long, isn't it?
It is.
I don't remember it lasting so long. We've got another lap.
We do. It looked like Shmi was flinching at Jar Jar gasping rather than flinching at what was happening to characters on the field.
Mm.
Use your magnet. There we are.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't believe both George and his team of editors at this point didn't think, maybe we should trim this scene down a bit.
And they've got regular engine sounds as well, so you know that they're racing.
Yeah.
There he goes.
I also don't fully understand the motivation of the Tusken Raiders, apart from it's just, we need to show the Tusken Raiders are just randomly, enjoy violence. But KOTOR was out before this, wasn't it?
I think KOTOR was later.
Was it?
But yeah. Like, it was, I think it was around Attack of the Clones kind of time.
Oh, okay. Because KOTOR goes to lengths to show that Tusken Raiders aren't savages.
Yeah, they've got their own culture, it's just that it's not in accordance with common galactic culture.
In case you forgot, Sebulba was a dirty, cheating bastard.
Yeah, he's shown it at least once per lap so far.
To be fair, if you stand there, you get what's coming to you.
Yeah.
The anti-gravity fields make no sense in this, do they?
Yeah. It looked like most of the crowd were booing.
Well, yeah, because most of the crowd probably has their money on Sebulba.
Yeah. I guess so, yeah.
I like the idea that those Jawas had no idea a race was going on. They're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Then I think the Jawas know exactly that there's a race going on.
And they're stealing parts.
They're there to steal all the parts that fall off.
They were like, oh, fuck, the race is still going on. We thought it was over.
Sebulba hoist by his own petard. Can't see.
All of a sudden, this scene is exciting because we get the exciting music.
Yep. Because we've had no music until now.
Because we needed to hear the sound of the racers.
Yeah. It's okay. Just close the thing that's making smoke, and then it's all fine.
Do pod races not have stewards' inquiries? Evidently fucking not, because at the end of this race, surely you'd be like, sure, there was some foul play here. Let's make sure we give the correct result here.
Nah, Sebulba crossed the line, therefore he wins. Seems to be how it goes.
Well, that's also the thing, isn't it? Because Jabba the Hutt sponsors this race, which means whichever winner makes him the most money is going to be who he wants to win.
Yeah.
Which means I think he'd actually want Sebulba to lose, because if he gets a portion of all the betting balls, then a rank
and everyone bets on
winning.
Sebulba because he always wins.
Yeah.
Like, why would you bet on anyone else?
For real. Like when he, not long after he first started racing, that used to be the case that Tony McCoy was such a good jockey. It didn't really matter what horse he was riding, so much so that it would influence the odds based solely on what horse he was riding. That would just be like, oh, McCoy's riding it. Instantly, the odds are incredibly low because there's a good chance McCoy just wins anyway.
Yeah.
To use a real life example.
Yeah, something you know a lot more about than I do.
Wow. You'll blame your dad for that one.
Yeah.
But, it's also... It seems to be that they were trying to invoke chariot imagery with the pod racers rather than F1 cars.
Yeah. He crashes and then says shit.
And everybody clapped.
Anakin doing donuts now. No, he's not doing donuts.
It would be really funny if he did.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, Rick. Where did the soot come from?
Well, one of these things was on fire, so maybe you got soot from that.
I guess. I love how Jabba the Hutt doesn't care. He fell asleep.
Yeah.
And that's why in about 10 years' time, I'ma suck your dick.
Yeah.
I'll wash your face. Innit? There's Watto paying out a bunch of fucking debts. The fucking nerve of this prick. Yeah, that's what betting is. Like, you knew he was going to win. Yeah, that's why I bet on him.
Yeah, like, if you were Watto, wouldn't you at least put, like, an additional 5% bet on Anakin at some point?
But here's the thing, it's like, he's technically sponsoring Anakin. I don't know why you wouldn't bet on Anakin, apart from the fact that you're technically betting against another guy. But bear in mind, it was a win-win scenario for Watto if he didn't bet on Sebulba.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the reason why Qui-Gon made the bet. He sweetened the pot by going, even if you lose, you win.
Yeah, even if we lose, yeah, you win.
But because Watto's essentially getting the pot. The winner's, the winner's purse minus the parts.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are never intending to return to Tatooine. There is absolutely no reason Qui-Gon couldn't have gone, yeah, Shmi, we're gonna... Oh, actually, I think there's a bit of lore that says they've got some weird fucking detonator in them that gets blown up if they leave the planet.
Yeah. And it's not for a long time before Anakin gets his own removed.
It's dumb. It's such a dumb detail. Like, it makes sense, but it's fucking ridiculous. We kind of spoke over it, but don't forget, they did explain earlier on that Anakin was quote-unquote conceived from the Force.
Yeah. They talk about this in Stargate at one point. They're on this planet where someone's been had an immaculate conception, and they ask the human characters, "Have you ever heard of something like this happening?" And they're doing their best not to talk about Jesus, and then the non-human guy goes, "Yes, Darth Vader."
Yeah. It does feel like what happened was it was probably a drunken one-night stand or something, and Shmi is too embarrassed to admit that, so instead it was a miraculous conception.
I mean, that's what Jesus was, really, wasn't it? Even in lore, it's very obvious that it's not immaculate conception.
Well, unless you take that one Family Guy bit where Joseph's sitting outside the room as God's fucking Mary. And just yeah, we're all glad to be doing this on my wedding night. Yeah, cool. And you just hear God going, "Shut up!" as the fucking thudding keeps going on.
The thudding continues.
Your future as a slave. Well, it's not fun to joke about that, actually, because we know how that story ends.
Yeah. She gets sold, freed, and married. And then captured and killed.
Well, it's implied to be more than just that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I don't know why they felt the need, because... it was just such an unnecessary detail, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I guess they need... I guess the logical reason for them to add that, despite me disagreeing with them needing it, is they needed that something little extra to try and justify to the audience Anakin's disproportionate response.
That Padme listens to firsthand, and then still fucks him.
There's that comic book where... comic, where Obi-Wan just goes, "He even killed younglings." And Padme just goes, "Oh, like with the Tusken Raiders." And Obi-Wan's just like, "The fucking what?"
Yep.
Because I don't think, technically speaking, Obi-Wan ever finds out about that incident.
No.
Never mind the numerous war crimes Anakin commits in the Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah, but everyone does war crimes in that.
Including Obi-Wan!
Yeah.
Now, I believe this is the backdrop for that infamous poster.
Yes. Looks like it.
You know, I'll just ask it, Rick. Shmi, would you?
Here, yes. In the next movie...
Well, clearly not the next movie, Rick. I mean here, not after she's been brutalised. You fuck.
Yeah.
Why would you even imply I was asking that?
Yeah, I'm now old enough for Shmi, yes. When I was first watching it, she was mom age, and now I am mom age.
When I was first watching it, I wasn't even 10 yet, so no, I wasn't thinking about that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Although, if I was like 21-ish when this film came out, given my fucking leanings, then yeah, I probably would have been like, yeah, I'd take Shmi.
Yeah. Yeah, when it was my age, Natalie Portman was more the target of teenage lust.
Okay, I love the scene we're about to get because, one, it's the first lightsaber on lightsaber fight we get in the prequel trilogy. Secondly, Darth Maul doesn't know who Anakin is at this point in time. All he saw was...
He just wants to run over a kid.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, fuck. It doesn't even think about it. It's like, I'm going to run down this random kid because fuck it. And Anakin,
just to distract the Jedi.
And Anakin just does it without thinking. Like, we obviously don't see the second blade here, but, like, I never noticed it before, but yeah, in hindsight, Darth Maul has a very long handle, and it looks almost weird when he fights with only one blade out.
Yeah, it's like Sir Alon's sword, ain't it?
Disagree on that
when you're
one.
Fighting like this. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like disproportionately long handle for the blade that he has.
Well, again, I don't notice that with Alon's blades, so the analogy's missed here.
Sure.
It's very interesting that they decide to use the term "it" here.
Hmm. That was in the trailer.
I'm getting a bit of a stuttering, so I might be even slightly further behind now, but not by much.
Sure, I've just had Anakin Skywalker meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And I just got You're a Jedi too. Pleased to meet you.
Your queen is lost, your people are starving.
Oh yeah, you're like 2 seconds ahead, it's fine. I do like the weird fucking spider throne he's deciding to sit on.
Yeah, so he's got one, and they put one for the hologram projector as well for when they're chatting to Sidious when they're walking and talking.
It's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Jar Jar's
How do you show
feet.
that someone's a villain? Yeah, how do you show someone's villainous? You give them spider motifs.
Alright, for real. They did it with Maul as well in the Clone Wars when he first came back.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case you didn't remember him.
Man, it might even be the same thing.
Maybe. It makes sense. He got bicated in Naboo in the same palace.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Well, that's just it, though. It's like Anakin's getting the bad reaction from being taken from Tatooine into just a spaceship. But they never showed Jar Jar being like, Misa dying!
Yeah, Misa dehydrating.
That was a big word for you, Jar Jar. Thanks, but Misa's still parched.
Misa gagging.
Look, do you know what the weird thing is? Is whenever you see this kid smirk, I can see Hayden Christensen doing the same smirk, which means I think Hayden Christensen deserves even more props.
Yeah, because he studied how the kid smirked. And tried to inject some personality into what was, by all accounts, a wooden script.
And again, this kid who's... I don't know the kid's name, I apologise.
Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd. Nothing wrong with his acting. Script shit, but that's been a thing with a lot of Star Wars films.
Yeah. There was a... before there was a Sonic movie, people were saying, oh yeah, he should be Tails.
Okay.
And then it never happened.
God, he's young there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Palps, I mean.
Yeah, Palpy. He looks merely middle-aged. He's still got a bit of red in his hair.
Yeah. Which is gone by the next movie.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, he looks like a prick, doesn't he? Valorum.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Valorum is meant to be, one of the most reasonable people. It's just that he has his hands tied by a lot of red tape.
Yeah, and it's what gives Palpatine the opportunity to supersede him.
Yeah, where he goes, he just whispers to Padme, enter the bureaucrat.
Anakin's like, but I thought, I want to be a Jedi, though. Let me be a Jedi. Please. Please,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
please, please, please. Was Jar Jar just having the horn for the Queen?
I think so. He's saying, yeah, the Queen's being nice. Pretty hot, too. Yeah. Oh, man. Like, I've not watched this with subtitles before.
Well, we're learning some things about our beloved Jar Jar. Don't forget, Jar Jar has canonically fucked. That was that weird bird creature thing in Clone Wars.
Oh, boy.
I believe at this point Padme is Natalie Portman. Rather, Amidala is...
Yeah. This scene is what got shown as a preview scene on like breakfast TV before the film came out.
What a weird choice.
I know, right? But it is a distillation of like why people didn't like this movie. It's because they spent so much time on this shit.
When in reality, the reason why you shouldn't like this movie is we just had a 20-minute long fucking pod race scene.
Yeah. It takes less time than that in a game, which are normally when things get expanded.
Here's the thing, Rick, is at my age, I'm actually fascinated by these glimpses of galactic politics we get. But as a 10-year-old, I was like, we just came off the back of a lightsaber fight.
Yeah. This is an episode thing, not a movie thing.
Yeah.
So, if they'd have done the Clone Wars style thing at this point, it would have gone down a lot better, I think.
But I don't think they would have had the platform.
No. Because I think Mando was the first live-action show, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like, it's what everyone says kickstarted and said, Star Wars is saved, praise Filoni! Even though it was more of a Favreau idea. But...
Yeah.
Sorry, did we just see a
FF.
Wookiee Jedi in the background?
I think we did, yeah. I think Yaddle's here as well. Or Yaddle might actually be a cut content person who just everyone knows about because they've seen the picture.
But these are the four main
Jedi
she's
there. She's there.
we can see. Oh, yeah, there's Yaddle. Yeah, Yolo's 2 seconds ahead. I love Plo Koon so much.
And this one that looks a bit like a Kaminoan, but...
Yeah, but ain't. Legally distinct.
All I could look at was his neck just going.
Yeah. I believe we've got Adigardia also behind Qui-Gon.
Yeah?
On the right there.
Yeah, Adigalia. Yeah.
It's hard to tell because you can just see the headdress just about and a bit of the eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the one who's the same race as Maul.
Yeah, but no face paint.
Yeah, he's got his horns out.
Well, this is
they used to be called Zabrak, but they just retconned them into being Night Brothers.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this was before the retcon of them all being Dathomir. From Dathomir.
Yeah, Dathomiri, yeah. Well, they also retconned Ventress into being one as well.
Yeah, but it's retcon after retcon.
Yeah, because she was originally a Ratataki.
Man, I love the background information of, like, Anakin would have done a lot better if Ki-Adi-Mundi trained him for a bit. Just because Ki-Adi-Mundi's species has this weird little detail of they've got, like, a 50-to-1 ratio of women to men.
Yeah.
So once a year he has to fuck off back to his home planet, fuck a lot of women, and then come back. So if Anakin just had one lesson with him and been like, man, not having companions and relationships sucks, and Ki-Adi-Mundi would just be like, bruh, it does not matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Amidala's definitely Padme right now.
Yes.
Which I believe will change again by the time they go back to Naboo.
Yeah, totally. Well, we know it does because that's when we get revealed about the ruse.
Yeah. Like, honestly, the French and Saunders piss take of Phantom Menace might be one of the best things ever. And if you've not seen that, you should. Because you've got them taking the piss out of the Switch and being like, now I'm this, now I'm that, blah, blah. The Jar Jar Binks piss take is the best. Because it's a dude wearing the same get-up as Ahmed Best had to wear. But instead of the figure of the head, it's just a fucking puppy. Like, literally a living puppy just going... "Roo, roo, roo." And the guy, whenever someone talks to him, he goes, don't look at me, look at the puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something I think people don't actually appreciate, is that behind the scenes when they were filming, like, a lot of the actors probably would have had to have taken some direction from Ahmed Best, where Ahmed Best would be like, stop talking to me and talk to the head. Because that's the entire purpose of it.
That's how tall it's meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, there's a lot of actors in this movie that, one, got shat on for no reason, and two, probably did a lot more work than some people realise. Also, aren't we going to see E.T. in a minute?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, this is too real, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah, people just disagreeing with, facts.
I might be wrong, but that geezer on the left stays as fucking Palpatine's right hand for a long time after Palpatine takes control.
Yeah, he gets fat, but yeah, other than that, he stays as the number 2.
I'm just looking at all the fucking discs, because I know E.T. gets a cameo somewhere.
And
Palpatine's real happy by that suggestion. Hides it well, doesn't he?
Wookiees.
And you can't...
There we are. ETs. Bottom left.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're 2 seconds ahead of me still. But yeah, I absolutely love it as well, because it's excellent manipulation by Palpatine, and like, it is what he does best.
Yeah, he makes everyone else's bad ideas that serve him feel like their own ideas.
And he does it again in the next movie with Jar Jar.
Yeah, he does it with Jar Jar, yeah.
Which, to be fair, not the most difficult of people to manipulate, but still, it's his go-to tried and tested tactic.
Yeah. And like, even with Anakin, it's like the whole, they asked you to spy on me, didn't they? It's meant to sow seed of doubt in Anakin.
Yeah. And this little speech from Yoda is also pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the more iconic ones from the entire series.
And now so do mine.
Here it starts.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes from the weird way he says and emphasizes suffering.
Mm.
And like, I'm sure people have actually made compilations, but we'll see it over the next 3 years as we watch these 3 movies, assuming we make it that far in the podcast, of that is literally not the best, but definitely outright foreshadowing, because we see all of that with Anakin.
Yeah. And that the fear just leads to, like you say, it's anger, then hate, then suffering. Was pretty much the last thing he says to Obi-Wan before
I hate you.
He gets this, before he gets the suit put on. I hate you. Yeah.
I believe this is the scene you mentioned. The reason why he's so happy is because 1, he's got the nomination, and 2, he just killed Plagueis. See, that's an important name and an important planet.
Yeah. Well, they talked about Melistaire earlier with the pod racing, so it's just been mentioned twice, and that's it.
I meant Antilles.
Oh yeah, Bail Antilles, yeah.
Wait, is Bail Antilles meant to be Bail Organa and he took his wife's name?
He might have done, yeah.
Because that's what I'm getting the impression of. But does that mean he's also related to Wedge?
Oh, it's a different Antilles.
Okay.
So Captain Antilles from the Tantive 4 is different to Wedge Antilles.
Okay, fair enough then. Look, they said Bail Antilles from Alderaan.
Yeah.
Whatever. We see Bail Organa in the next movie, I believe. If not the next one, definitely 3.
Yeah. With his cool little X-shaped breastplate on.
That look from Palpatine there is meant to be like, oh, I'm sad about this, but in reality it's like, oh, fuck, she's going to be a lot harder to control if she fucks off. Also, here's the weird thing. I can't remember. It must be next movie once Padme's an actual senator, and it's revealed that, by the way, the Queen of Naboo is decided by diplomatic vote, and it's like, that's not how queens work. What is this, fucking Orzammar?
Yeah. A diplomatic monarch. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because it's written by Americans, and they all they know is diplomacy.
I guess. I like how Obi-Wan goes from, oh, bitch, to, oh, it's because he has faith in me. The code is more like guidelines.
Yeah. Yeah, and killing a Sith Lord is pretty much what cements him as, okay, a Jedi you are.
Like, it hasn't been invoked in ages, because, again, this is the problem we're going to have with, is it called Outcast? No, it's not Outcast. The fuck Acolyte.
Oh, yeah.
Is they're going to encounter a Sith, and either there needs to be a cover-up amongst the Jedi High Council, or everyone who sees that Sith has to die, because there hasn't been a Sith for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that's bullshit as viewers, but in universe, that's their knowledge. But yeah, it is one of the things that you can become a knight by killing a Sith, but it's not happened in ages.
Yeah. Yeah, we also didn't have the word Padawan before this movie.
True. The fact that we took you from Tatooine already makes you a problem, so shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't remember who it was, but someone pointed out that if Qui-Gon didn't die and had been the mentor of Anakin, Anakin's fall would never have happened.
Probably. Because even though he can be a bit of a maverick, he is a much more grounding force than Obi-Wan ever was.
Well, it's also like they point it. The thing that gets pointed to is it gets pointed out as Obi-Wan deals with Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith. It's like, we were brothers, Anakin, and that's the problem.
They were brothers, they were mates, and the problem is that they were raising each other together rather than having a master and apprentice relationship.
What Anakin needed was a father figure, and Obi-Wan was never that.
Yeah, he was big bro at most. Which is not a bad figure to have, just not what Anakin needed.
Well, there's certain things that Anakin needed to be guided on, but Obi-Wan couldn't guide him on it. I noticed as well that R2 is lacking a lot of his future markings.
Yeah, because he's not been banged up yet.
Oh, I've got the evil Sith music, and I believe he's on the spider projector you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, just backpedaling on the spider tank.
It's a cool visual, you got to admit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the only time he gets his name said.
No, he got told it. We got told it earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah, so he
And
gets...
I'm 95% sure you said that then as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, so we only get it said twice. Which is more than Panaka.
Might be. There it is, in subtitle form.
Yeah.
You know, all things said and done, it is actually kind of amazing how well the Gungans do in a pitched battle.
Yeah. Because they're outside of their element, literally.
Like, the only advantage they've got going for them is they nullify the tanks for quite a big margin of time. But they don't have blasters. They have literally... My god, fuck. It's literally just them doing Endor again.
Yeah. Although at least the energy things that they have are actually effective and not just rocks and trees.
True. But they do ultimately just use slings and spears.
Yeah.
Like, Jar Jar has this weird thing going for him where even though he's meant to be better in the water, he still looks clumsy.
Yeah.
Oh, like, literally just without the hoods on, you can clearly see that Padme is being played by Natalie Portman now.
Yeah.
I'm now doing that thing that only millennials do, Rick. I'm doing a paranoia check because it's been 2 hours, and yes, my recording is still going strong.
Yeah, I also keep doing that now and again.
Well, we're in a bit of a lull because right now we're just going to get the diplomacy scene and it's kind of boring. So do you want to explain to people what you explained to me a few times of the paranoia check exclusive to us millennials?
Yeah, the millennial pause. Well, the millennial pause in particular is when you hit record and wait until you're sure that it's recording before you start talking. Whereas Zoomers will just launch straight into whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because they've never known technology be as unreliable as we don't trust it to be.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the body double Amadana played by Keira Knightley, or did I make that up?
It might be. Shit, I don't know.
You see Anakin's little shit-eating grin of just like, I've been talking to a queen.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
I will say this as well. I do like the Gungan armor. I think it looks good on them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I cut you off.
I was thinking Anakin going, oh shit, I thought I was shooting my shot with a slave girl. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's how he would see things, isn't it?
Yeah. Because Queen... Oh, little Gungans.
Oh, fat Gungan.
Yeah, because like his point of view is like, oh, Queen's slave is still a slave.
Yeah, because his opinion is the serving class must be slaves.
Hmm.
So wait, the whole reason why the Gungans didn't like the Nabooians was because of them just assuming that they were looked down upon.
Yeah, I think so.
That's too real.
Yeah. Oh, his other line.
And called Maul for the third time. That grass looked so artificial.
Yeah.
And it probably wasn't. This is probably the dumbest thing Boss Nass does, by the way.
Yeah, it just makes Jar Jar into a general, yeah. But it's like Christopher Lee's beard. It looks fake, but that's because it's comparing it to other really good fake beards.
Fair enough. And the fact that his beard colour is slightly different to his hair colour doesn't help.
Yeah, that's why people think it's fake.
I know it's a fucking lame thing to get excited by, but I love seeing strategy councils in films.
Yeah, because you always know it's never going to go that way. Because if it does, why would they hold the council and show people?
I mean, it's a believable thing to have happen is all.
Yeah, but it's one of those, like, if things go in the narrative exactly as it goes in the plan, then it makes for a poor narrative.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because by that logic, it means there's no point in it. There's no point in paying attention during any planned scene because it's always going to go wrong. So what's the point in the scene?
The point is seeing how it goes wrong and how your guys adapt to it, and how much they get it back on track.
If you say so, I just think it's a realistic, good thing to show that strategic acumen means you have to have a council and have communication before the battle. Here's the dumb spider fucking holograph projector.
Yeah.
My God, they shouldn't have Darth Maul look short.
Yeah, it's just that next to the Neimoidians are massive.
And yet they're massive pussies. All of them.
Yeah, there we go.
Palpatine showing his first signs of actual ruthlessness.
Hmm.
Because unless you already know about Palpatine, in this movie it does a good job of hiding the fact that Palpatine is Sidious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Unless you read the annuals where they've got the same birthday, the same height.
I literally just started that with saying, unless you know, you don't know in this movie alone that Palpatine and Sidious are the same person.
Yeah, because like people who know about Emperor Palpatine and knowing that he has his Force powers, they didn't know that it was the same guy. Like, we weren't 100% sure until later.
It does help that the original representation of Palpatine in the Hood was, I think you said it was like a combination of someone's mouth but with like chimpanzee eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, they only changed it to Ian McDiarmid in Return of the Jedi.
Mm.
It's a good way to repurpose the shield technology, because they use that for the city.
Yeah.
To repurpose it for an on-land mega shield.
Why is Anakin even with you? Apart from the fact that he needs to do plot stuff.
Yeah, it's weird that they didn't leave him on Coruscant, to be honest.
Like the Jedi were like, we don't want to train him. That doesn't mean they couldn't shelter him.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, god damn, that's it when the music kicks in, though.
And they got a bit of old Roger Roger as well.
Fucking... If you're that cowardly, you should not be in charge of a war effort.
Hmm.
Man, Padme's gun has got such a unique sound effect compared to the rest of the blasters.
Yeah. This is also the first movie that we see green lasers on foot.
Oh?
Because until then, all of them are red.
Fair
apart
enough.
from the stun bolts, which are blue.
Yeah, and circles.
Yeah. There's your Wilhelm.
Yeah, cool. I don't know what Annie's plan was here. Oh, eat shit, idiot. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck. We just need to show that the planetary defenses still exist. So this one guy has to die.
Hmm.
It's a very cool scene to try and get a Death Star feel without having to need a Death Star.
Yeah. Like, the station itself has no offensive capabilities, essentially. It's just a carrier.
Yeah. But when your army is droids, that's all you need. I love Jar Jar pretending to know what he's doing.
Hmm.
Because before now, all he's done is copy the other guy in front of him and do... Like, earlier on when he said halt and raised his arm, Jar Jar just did the same thing.
Yeah.
I love this. I love watching the battle droids deploy because it's such a cool visual.
It is, isn't it?
How much effort must have gone into that scene alone, though? Because it's just CG against CG. In 1999.
The one that really blows my mind is Jurassic Park, because that was before modern Windows.
But see, original Jurassic Park was more practical than CG. Even the T-Rex was practical.
Yeah, like the T-Rex were practical, but like even the things that were CG were still well done.
It's been too long, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't agree or disagree with your statement because I can't remember the CG from it.
Sure.
Now, that wasn't even Jar Jar's fault. He just had a fucking skittish mount.
Yeah.
Look at him trying. Everyone's like, fuck's sake, General.
Man, the shields, the personal shields that they got are actually pretty cool.
Well, but it makes sense for them to be top dog's bollocks when their main offensive weaponry is spears.
Hmm. Stay in that cockpit and then he just kind of like winks and nods.
This is the reveal that had everyone in 1999 flipping their shit. Give it 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Also, we've got the start of Duel of the Fates going on in the background.
Yeah, so this was the first time we heard this as a song.
Oh, God. Corn on the cob.
The cob. Corn on the kebab.
Like, you might think the rest of the film is shit up until this point, but if anyone shit talks the scenes from here on out, I actually think they're idiots. Like, the music, the fight, I wish they cut less to Padme's team, but I get it.
Yeah, they have to show everything going on.
Like, if you don't have lightsabers or heavy firepower, destroyers are a problem once they got their shields up.
Hmm. Why wouldn't you go straight for the joystick, though?
For real. Yeah, don't worry about the slave kid in the fucking spaceship. He's probably be fine.
It's fine. R2 can take control.
Takes him a while to fucking do it, though. What good? Rick, what good will the helmet do in space?
That helmet, 0.
I love it because when I first watched this scene, I thought he was just doing that to be a prick and didn't realise he was opening the door.
Yeah, he's got like a proper control of the situation as best as he can.
Well, that's the thing with Darth Maul, is like he's not very force proficient, but he doesn't need to be, because his skill with a lightsaber, up until this point, it's like he is equivalent to a master swordsman.
Yeah.
Someone made a short film about 8 minutes long of Darth Maul killing about 5 Jedi as an initiation for Sidious, and it's one of the... It's a really well choreographed fight scene for what is essentially amateurs, because I don't believe they got paid or anything. I think they just did it as a passion project. But it's so cool.
Sweet. I might have to check that out.
I mean, I'll find it and send a link to you. It's great. I think it's literally just called Sidious's Apprentice.
Sure.
But, you know, I'm a sucker for Darth Maul, because Darth Maul fight scenes are automatically a bit more interesting just by the fact he usually has a double blade.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I'm just remembering that there's a race in the Old Republic that look exactly like the Destroyer droids.
I mean, there's a non-0% chance that they are the race that makes and manufactures Destroyer droids, because every other battle droid is based on the race that creates them.
Yeah.
Apart from Super Battle Droids, which takes the best elements of each droid and combines it to make a big fuck-off droid. Doesn't make a difference to Jedi, but they like to pretend it does.
Yeah.
Also, is it just like tradition in Star Wars films to have one fat pilot die in a fiery explosion?
So it would seem. Like for Porkins, it's just because he couldn't feel that he wasn't actually pulling up and he thought he was doing fine.
Oh, yeah. That's not what he meant, and you know it, you little shit. That's such little shit kid logic.
Yep.
I can't believe that became a meme.
Yeah.
Matt, you can tell how much more excited we are at the tail end of this movie because we're just talking constantly with high energy compared to 20 minutes ago when they were talking about taxes and we were like, ah.
Yeah. Like, even though we're more interested in the lightsaber fight, even this bit is like a pretty cool like video game level.
I mean, yeah. Like, this was such a good thing. They separated it into 2 levels in the Star Wars Phantom Menace video game. You had the one that was just the big fuck-off boss fight against Darth Maul, and you had this, which was the Feed Palace bullshit as Padamame.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. I absolutely love calling her that.
Padamame bean.
And I'll be honest with you, I'll give it shout out again. The Lego Star Wars game with this fucking scene was well fucking done. It was fun.
Yeah. Because not only were you fighting, but you were, like, progressing along the level.
Yeah. And that's another thing as well that Darth Maul does that I enjoy, that it just makes sense, and that is he throws kicks at his opponent to stun them and try and get a killing blow.
Yeah, because their attention is on the lightsaber, which is the very definitely dangerous bit.
Yeah. I also love the detail of Obi-Wan not igniting his lightsaber until he's finished his jump.
Yes.
Like, there's so many little details in this fight scene that I feel like you can appreciate on repeat viewings.
Yeah, like the very obvious difference between meditation and seething.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, Qui-Gon turns his lightsaber off. Obi-Wan I don't think does.
Yeah, because Obi-Wan's anxious and wants to get into the fight. Like, even Darth Maul turns his lightsaber off.
Oh, he's turned it off now, yeah.
Would that not unnerve you though? If you were waiting for someone to join you and fight you again, and he's just fucking
and they've just gone to sleep.
Yeah, and it's just like, this motherfucker's not taking me seriously. The CG on the tanks doesn't look very good. Like, it looks very unnatural, which, again, I guess I can see the point of, but it doesn't look like it was a purposeful decision.
Yeah, and the beasts of burden as well, when they're just running away.
I was so busy looking at Jar Jar, I didn't even notice. I don't know why
anyone running away.
Sorry, go on.
Anyone running away from the camera just doesn't look good.
Okay. That's fair. I don't like that the big fuck-off orbs that spell instant doom for the droid army sound like bouncy balls when they bounce.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Here, take this one. I love Jar Jar bumblefucking his way through the droid army. Because he can't be too competent, otherwise it would ruin the character. And yet this is why the Gungans promote him to senator level, because he's a war hero. Completely by accident, but still.
Yup.
And this show of character between the two characters during the surrender as well was quite funny.
Yeah. There's a archetype in Pathfinder called Accidental Sharpshooter, and it's all about bumblefucking your way into crits.
I mean, it's just like taking fucking halfling, isn't it, and being lucky.
Yeah.
Like, it's an annoying thing to keep track of as a DM, and it really sucks when you have this cool narrative moment because of shit dice rolling, and it's like, no, I'm lucky, and then you have to pivot into a different cool luck moment.
They just bend down, ooh, shiny penny, and then the thing that was about to murder them just sails over their head.
Like, yeah, literally fucking Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Ooh, a Scooby snack.
God damn, like, nailing that death stare, though, eh?
I think the implication here is that Obi-Wan knew that it was about to happen before any of the others did.
I mean, quite possibly. It's very unbelievable. I know they did it for the narrative reason and nothing else. That Obi-Wan could not close that distance fast enough. We're about to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was all because of a hilt blow to the chin.
Yeah. I actually think it was to the nose. Because getting hit on the chin won't stun you quite to that degree, but the nose will stun you. Unless you're Mike Tyson with a well-placed punch.
Well, I mean, if you hit someone in the chin well enough, you spin someone's jaw, and that's, like, actually lethal.
Yeah, but, yeah. But yeah, like, it's one of the few things Rebels did well of the parallels between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon in that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, Obi-Wan's getting... not getting mullered, but he goes to his old school style, then changes to his refined style before going, hang on, this is what Qui-Gon did, maybe I can bait out that moment. And that's exactly what he fucking did. It's just such a good... It's one of the things I give George a lot of credit for, of his philosophy of it's like poetry, it rhymes. It's a good philosophy to have when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah, and even if he's not the one writing an individual Star Wars thing, the fact that he set that into motion means that, like, other writers respect it.
Yeah.
Or at least the good writers respect it.
Like, George has a lot of flaws in his writing style, but I don't think that is one of them.
Absolutely.
But, you know, like, again, I think it's called Two Moons, or Two Suns it might be, actually. But fucking chef's kiss to everyone who worked on that episode, because they did perfectly.
Yeah.
I think you're right, you know. I think Obi-Wan got the timing down way better than the other two, because Darth Maul only triggered his lightsaber because he saw Obi do it.
Yeah.
I love as well...
And you can tell he's going, like, super fast. Like, he's going way faster than he was before, because he's angry.
Yeah. Again, it's a detail I love. Like, the fight scenes in the prequel trilogy in particular, they do a really good job of taking emotion into account.
Yeah.
And I will die on the hill of Revenge of the Sith has the best lightsaber duel in the mainline movies. hands down.
Probably. It really has to compete with this. But yeah, I do think you're right.
I think the emotion, because both scenes are emotional. Everything is very high octane, shall we say? But like, I think the thing that seals it is not just the choreography of the fight scene itself, but you also have the emotional crescendo of 3 fucking movies with that end speech Obi gives towards Anakin. Like, I know it might be a bit cheating to take some of the elements that come after the fight, but to me it's the ultimate scene after the essentially death of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. The character death, at least, yeah.
Well, even
death of character,
like
within Anakin.
Retrospectively, we can say definitely it was the death of Anakin, because Darth Vader says it the next time they meet. Anakin Skywalker is dead.
You didn't kill him, I did. Yeah.
Oh, God. I'll give Kenobi the shit it deserves, because I don't think it was a good series. But that final episode saved it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Good job, Anakin.
Pull the head off.
Isn't it a bit weird that they didn't give Jar Jar any armor?
Yeah.
He's still wearing his rags from earlier.
Well, because then they'd have to make 2 toys.
Oh, yeah, you think George doesn't want more toys? Again, something George Lucas doesn't get enough credit for, or some people may not realise. George Lucas didn't take as big of a money deal as he could have done for making the original film, because he knew that the money made from toys was worth way more.
Yeah, merchandising is everything. And it's also why his stipulation for Spaceballs is he can't make merchandise.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
So until the Clone Wars, the animated series, which didn't come out till, I want to say, 2006, that was the end of Darth Maul's story.
Yeah.
And yet he's...
And until...
Go on, sorry.
Until, I think, Revenge of the Sith, baddies were only killed by green lightsabers.
Really?
Yeah. Because the only ones we've seen before are when Vader got his hand cut off and was properly defeated in Revenge of the Sith, done by Luke's green saber, and this one, Maul killed by that one, because Dooku doesn't get defeated.
Yeah, and when he gets decapitated, it's by 2 blue ones.
Yeah. So it's until then, green lightsabers must be the best, because they're the only ones that can kill Sith Lords.
Even though we know that blue is the fighter role and green is the advisor role.
Yeah.
At least, don't get me wrong, that canon has been obliterated and erased from history many a year ago, but at one point that used to be the distinction.
Yeah, and it was that for Knights of the Old Republic, and yellow was for
Plo Koon
Sentinels.
And Plo Koon only.
Yeah, Plo Koon and Sentinels.
Like, if Anakin didn't exist, Plo Koon is a good person to point to as the best all-round Jedi.
Yeah. Mace Windu is a pretty good one as well.
Mace Windu's weird, because, as you pointed out before, he is a maverick when it comes to the battlefield, but when he's off the battlefield, he is such a by-the-books Jedi, it's annoying.
Yeah, it's like Barbarian Rage, kind of, in that he's... It gets into a feedback loop of dark side energy with whoever he's battling.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise the Jedi Council fucking turned up to Naboo at the end of this movie.
It's for the funeral.
But I don't remember seeing them disembark off the ship before. I didn't think they turned up till the end at the pyre, so, mind blown.
Yeah, because I know Yoda's there for the finale.
Yeah, he's here. Was Frank Oz still doing the voice at this point?
I think he is, yeah.
Now, we obviously don't know this at this point in time, and it was definitely a retcon, but right now, Yaddle's getting murdered.
Like, this second, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you looked at the Tales of the Empire, by the way?
No, what's that?
It's essentially season 2 of Tales of the Jedi.
Oh, is it out then?
Yeah.
I didn't know. They did not advertise that well, my friend.
Yeah, I think it's Ventress and the Lady Magistrate from Mando and Ahsoka.
Yeah, the one with the spear, I assume.
Yeah. Morgan Elsbeth.
Ah. Not the one with the spear.
Yeah, Morgan Elsbeth. That's the one.
Okay. Names are bad.
Yeah, she's the one with the spear, and then she becomes the deuteragonist of Ahsoka.
I didn't know that was the same character because she looked so different.
Fair.
Also,
yeah, she dresses up as a Night Sister in Ahsoka because she's trying to be a Night Sister.
And also, it's been years since Mando Season 2, which means I kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't it, like, in retrospect, make your skin crawl a little bit that Palpatine's there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's real weird.
I can't believe in an official ceremony parade, Jar Jar is still wearing his shit rags.
Yeah. And Anakin's got his little braid now.
Yeah, that's how you know he's a Padawan. I will say, like, I know we shit on it as a joke for a little bit of saying there's a Star Wars when you see a big, weird fantasy creature. But, like, Star Wars creature design is actually pretty top tier.
Usually, yeah.
And this is meant to be some sort of sacred fucking thing. But they don't really expand...
Peace ball.
Yeah, but they don't exactly expand upon it in the movies. But you can read about it in comics and shit. That smirk is specifically the one I'm seeing Hayden Christensen do in future movies.
Yes, absolutely. And the big heart melter from Padme as well.
Yeah. We've got 7 minutes of credits, which is actually very small.
Yeah. So we can listen to the music version, and then we can. Do you want to do the wind down during the during the extended credits?
Maybe. We'll see. At the moment, I'm waiting for the actors because I'm convinced Keira Knightley played Amidala's body double, but I can't remember.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll find out. Yeah.
Good job, costume designer.
Good job, pretty much everyone. Like,
yeah, can you think about any...
Apart from maybe George, but yeah.
John Williams was in charge of the music, as we kind of remembered. Yeah, we know about these ones. Oh, I didn't realise they fucking kicked in fucking Jewel of the Fates during the wind down.
Well, I mean, they would have to, wouldn't they?
Jake Lloyd.
Vanilla August.
Not sure about that name. Might have been Panaka.
Maybe.
But was he a big enough role to get put amongst the... Why did Frank Oz get fucking a solo credit screen? Ahmed Best, Kenny Baker, and Anthony Daniels. You never actually saw these people, you just saw their creations.
With Terrence Stamp. Like, I don't know why he gets a with as a finale. I guess it's just because they're just ending the main credits, and everyone else in the big link is going to be the everyone else.
Yeah, maybe so. Oh, here we go. I'm waiting for... Then I can't imagine... Then again, it would have been a time where Keira Knightley wasn't probably a big name at this point in time.
Yeah, it wasn't for a couple of years before she did...
Pirates?
Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah.
Oh, dickhead! That was the worst time.
Vanilla August was me.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, Sabe, Keira Knightley.
Oh, there you go. I was just looking at the actors' names and not the...
Yeah, it's one of them, yeah.
So yeah, and Peter Serafinowicz is the voice of Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Rune Harko?
Oh, he's one of the Gungans.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, Newt Gunray and Runa Harko are the two main ones, and then the one who's "We lost that transmission, sir," is someone else.
Okay, so you didn't mean to say the word Gungan then?
Oh yeah, not Gungans. The Nimwardians.
Is that what they're called? Fucking hell.
Yeah, Trade Federation.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't know this now, but obviously, the end of this movie, the Trade Federation and all their allies are pretty much now off screen over the next. I want to say there's a 10-year gap. Breaking away from the
Around
Republic
that,
to make the
the separatist movement. Yeah.
There we go. I almost said cis, and I knew that was wrong.
Yeah. It is when it becomes that, the Confederacy of Independent Systems.
Yeah, I know, but I knew that wasn't the name of the movement initially. Anyway.
Yeah, until they start doing the separatisms.
Yeah.
They don't have a CIS.
Yeah. Yeah. Industrial Light and Magic, man, what an early days animation studio name.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment we're getting animators and supervisors, and the truth be told is they deserve credits, but I don't track individual animators on projects of this scale.
Oh, absolutely not. Like, we've gone more than a page of animators and then more than a page of other animators.
Yeah.
Like, these guys definitely did the heavy lifting.
Oh, yeah. Character animators were probably working the entire length of the movie just on that fucking fight scene between, large-scale skirmish between the Gungans and the droids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nowadays, like, granted, it's not usually done like this unless the studio is incredibly poor or staff hungry. But you can actually just get an AI program to animate the entire fight scene for you. It's what they did in Lord of the Rings. They had to fix their script so many times because so many people were running away because they made it too realistic.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the thing, is like, okay, I've never been diagnosed with autism, and I don't think I'm autistic, but as a child, I definitely hyperfixated on both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Sword fights.
Like, that must have been what drew me in, but like, I fucking read books, not the books of Lord of the Rings trilogy, because they are very dry to begin with.
Oh, yes.
Like, here's the thing, is like, it's on my to-do list, and it's something I've never done. I've never read the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because I've always gotten to just past Tom Bombadil and gone, fuck, this is boring.
Yeah, I've not even gotten that far. I own the books, never read them.
Yeah, it's one of those where I know it picks up as soon as the party meets Aragorn. But there's so many chapters before you meet Aragorn.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Is that the one we're going to do for April Fool's that one time?
I mean, probably not, no. I know they have to, but I love it. The events, characters, and firms depicted in this photoplay are not real and are fictional. Please don't sue us.
Yeah. If your name happens to be Qui-Gon Jinn and you happen to have died in an industrial accident.
Jeez, that's a weird one I don't remember ever seeing. If you experienced anything that detracted from this viewing experience, call THX on 1-800 blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, I think that was a thing of, if your cinema fucked up, you can ring them and they will bollock the cinema.
Damn. I mean, yeah, I kind of appreciate that, but at the same time, would that not be nerve-wracking every time a fucking film was on?
Yeah. I also didn't hear it, but I saw it in the captions. Apparently there was a Darth Vader breathing at the end.
I did hear it say just breathing.
Yep.
It's just like heavy breathing as Anakin fantasizes about Padmé for the 500th time.
Little Anakin's first wet dream.
Well, listen, I'm just saying, like, his only exposure to women apart from Shmi is Padme, and now he has to live life I don't think he has a youngling step. He just straight up is Obi-Wan's apprentice and, Padawan, whatever you want to call it. And they're fucking off to space doing space things.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin has 2 fun memories. That time he met a queen that might end up fucking him one day, and I got to fly a starship.
Mm. Oh, he won the Boonta Eve as well, but he was still a slave back then, so that was muted, to say the least.
But is that not immediately overshadowed by the fact that he got to fly a starship and blow shit up?
Yeah. He got to save a bunch of lives by blowing up some destroyer droids, and then he went to go and kill the prototype Death Star, yeah.
Well, it wasn't even close to a prototype Death Star, and you know it.
Yeah, the greed ship.
But yeah, we've kind of waffled a bit, as we do during 10-minute long credit sequences, but Rick, what do you think?
Generally, it wasn't great. But the ending, 25 minutes, is what saves the entire movie, in my opinion. I'm a big proponent of the Phantom edit that, gives us all the best bits of episodes 1 and 2 together, and then just using that as a springboard. How about you? What do you think?
I mean, I disagree entirely. I think you need to watch this and Clone Wars in its whole. I don't think you should cut anything out. I think the things that are happening in the galaxy as a whole are interesting. I question the decision to put all of that into your Star Wars movie, but I kind of get it. It was George's vision and he executed it. I think some things could have been trimmed for time, certainly, but I think if you trim too much, you risk a certain thing, or rather losing out on certain elements of the story. You need to know how rough the Trade Federation is treating Naboo. Unfortunately, the only rationale we're given for the blockade in the first place is Darth Sidious doing Sith things.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough. I'll take that on board.
I enjoyed the movie, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the last 25 minutes the most.
Yeah.
That being said, let's do our usual wind down, and it might be a bit of a tough question, actually, but what was your favourite moment?
Oh, it was very definitely the ramp up of Duel of the Fates, where the lightsabers ignite, and we know that we're in for an RGB extravaganza. I think the beginning is the most iconic part of this entire movie.
I think almost every cinema broke into cheers at the revelation of Darth Maul having 2 blades.
Yeah. So, that exactly that. Yes, there are other great parts of that fight after that, but it's all downhill from the masterstroke of the second blade, you know? But yeah, how about you? What's going to be your favourite moment?
Yeah, it's also going to be from the clash between Jedi and Sith, but it's going to be a slightly different moment, of course.
Okay.
It might be a weird one, but I absolutely enjoyed the purposeful slowing down of the fight, where they had the barriers come in, and
sure,
the contrast of Darth Maul pacing as he just stares down at Qui-Gon, while Qui-Gon kneels down patiently and does the Jedi thing of, I'm doing a bit of meditating and getting ready for the clash that is going to occur. The second the barriers opened up again, both of them ignited lightsabers and went straight back into swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they turned those both into the out-of-combat heal animations in the Old Republic as well, by the way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you're a good guy, you sit down, and if you're a baddie, you just pace back and forward, seething and just regenerating all your health and mana.
It makes perfect sense, because as you said with the geezer doing the audition for Starkiller, and the reason when he was making his lightsaber he was angry, it's just such a Sith thing of, even though it's meant to be a peaceful process, peace is the enemy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't only talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad, so let's get to it. Rick, do you have a weakest link?
It's how much time was spent on things that they must have known were boring. In particular, I'm going with the politics scenes and stuff. But the other one is the pod race. That was maybe 4 times longer than it needed to be.
For real. I liked the implication of the politics scenes, but honestly, they could have actually probably gotten away with cutting out a lot of the in-between dialogue when it came to politics. I think they could have gotten away with just the big Senate meeting. That and the initial introduction of the senator that needed to be replaced by Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all you needed, but I do appreciate the additional context, so I'm not as down on it as perhaps other people are.
Yeah, fair enough. So how about you? What was going to be your weakest link?
Oh, it's 100% the pod race. It did not need to be that long. I don't remember it being that long. It didn't add anything for being that long.
Yeah, I get you. It was basically up there along mine, but so yeah, it's the fact that we were so long through it before we realised only now does the music kick in, and it's been going on for 25 minutes.
It's one of those baffling things where I think it was so long because I think either George or another editor must have sat down and gone, we haven't had an action scene for a while, and in a minute we're going to be doing the political Coruscant stuff, so we should probably get a bunch of action in right now. But it wasn't the type of action I think anyone wanted.
Yeah, like it's not as bad as the one in the Last Jedi, but I kind of lump races a little bit in with chases, in that it's the way to have conflict without having combat, and I'm not as big of a fan of those.
I get it, especially in this one when Sebulba was actively fighting.
Yeah. And he's the only one allowed to do active fighting because we have to show that our good guy's still a good guy.
Like, I'm not that down on race scenes. I think race scenes are fine. Unless the focus of the movie is a big, a racing theme, like a tournament or a contest, like Death Race or something. You don't need a 20-long-minute racing scene.
Yeah, if you're going in wanting a race show, then yeah, cool. Focus on the racing. But this is Star Wars.
Again, I think you could have an interesting series, a mini-series of just pod racers being pod racers. They were all colourful characters, to be sure, but the crux of the scene was, it never changed. It was, Sebulba is the best, but he also cheats. Anakin is better, but he'll never know that because he's always cheated. And that was it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, we don't like to end on a low point. Let's end on a highlight, shall we? It's probably actually a difficult question, but nonetheless, I must ask it. Rick, who is your MVP?
As much as I want to give it to the whole animation team, because they, like we say, they did the massive heavy lifting, I'm going to give it to the character of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, I respect that.
With a minor honourable mention to Liam Neeson for being Qui-Gon Jinn. So yeah, it's Qui-Gon Jinn as the character because he carried the plot more than pretty much anyone else, and it was just, we felt robbed in that we didn't get more of him.
Yeah, and don't forget, the only reason we got him in Kenobi is because he went on Twitter and other social media and went, I'm not saying I'm in it, hint, hint, but if they want me to come back for Kenobi, I super will.
Yeah. So yeah, who's going to be your MVP for today?
I mean, I've got to give it to Ray Park.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely. You could not have had any of those scenes without both him as an actor and him as a trainer and coordinator.
Absolutely. Like, I think he's been overshadowed by the Clone Wars guy a little bit, but as far as physicality goes, it's a theme with Star Wars related content, and you'll see this if you go back and watch any of our Star Wars stuff. I like giving props to the physical actors of characters because it's such an important part of the acting process.
Yes.
And we see it a lot in Star Wars because there's a lot of characters that have different voice actors to physical actors. I think that Dave Prowse is robbed of a lot of credit for the Darth Vader character. Not to take anything from Jones, because that voice is iconic and it would not work with any other, in my opinion. But the physicality that Prowse brought to the role is undeniable, in my opinion. And I think Ray Park did the exact same thing for Maul.
Yeah. Just a looming ability to command a scene.
And again, the fucking behind-the-scenes interview of Ray Park just saying that, so initially I was about 20% faster, but George told me off and said I needed to be slower for the effects.
Yeah.
It's just an immense amount of physicality, and he didn't need to if he didn't want to. This film and the scenes would have been fine without that much of a commitment, but he did it anyway, and it shows.
Yeah. This is the first time they used green screen as well for the lightsabers, because before that they were just that reflective cinema screen material on a spinning spindle that had to be powered by a wire up your sleeve.
Yeah, and it's also the reason why they're heavy.
Yes.
Because not only were the actors told these are heavy, treat them as if they're heavy, but also, if you do too much of an advanced movement, the fucking thing will break.
Yeah. Not as big of a deal once you've got carbon fiber green screen sticks.
I didn't know that, Rick, but I'm not surprised to find it out. Yeah.
Because you could see them like holding something a little bit further up the hilt or whatever. Like the Maul saber in particular, you can see that he can hold it wherever he wants.
I mean,
because it's a stick.
I mean, if that was using the old rigging, he would not be able to do the range of movements he did several times over.
Absolutely not, yeah. Absolutely not.
But yeah, that brings us to a close today, guys. Thanks for joining us for the 3rd episode of This Is the May. Next week, we'll have the final one. But for now...
Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say this was going to be the finale, but we juggled things around a bit.
Didn't need to mention that. The audience were none the riser, but oh well. That does it for today, guys. As always, we've got the comment section down below if you have thoughts to share with us, opinions, and most importantly, suggestions for future episodes. Alternatively, we know not everyone's watching on YouTube. Some people are listening via our audio platforms. With that in mind, Rick, I've got an email address they can send things to.
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Absolutely. So, yeah, nothing else to say, but this is the May.
Remember, the 4th will be with you, always.